Bill Dodson thought his life was over when his back was broken in an automobile accident and he was paralyzed for life.
You can't even dress yourself anymore. You can't even go to the bathroom by yourself anymore.
For 9 long years, he's desperately hoped that medical science might give him a chance to walk again.
It's the biggest thing in my life. I want it back more than anything.
His best hope is a new and largely untested research project, which would subject him to risky experimental surgery. It's a terrible gamble, but one Bill is willing to take.
The chance of walking, nothing's going to hold me back from that.
Hello, I'm Dr. Steve Salvatore. One dream that haunts many of those who are paralyzed is the chance to someday walk again. Well, for the 2 young men you're about to meet, Ken Paulson and Bill Dodson, the distance between their wheelchairs and that all-important first step seemed like an eternity. But now they're about to trust their future to a handful of tiny wires, small metal pieces, and the vision of a doctor who shares their dream. Their story is one of courage, determination, and the willingness to gamble on what is truly a super surgery.
Bill Dodson has struggled to adjust to life in a wheelchair each and every day since the evening of July 23, 1993. When a tragic accident changed his life forever. For 9 long years, he's tried to answer the question, why me? Exhausted from a grueling 90-hour work week and a long commute, Bill was just 15 miles from home when he fell asleep at the wheel and smashed his car into a telephone pole.
It's about 11, and I was right down the road from where the accident happened.
From the family home, Bill's daughter remembers seeing emergency vehicles racing to the accident scene.
And I saw the ambulances, but I didn't know at the time that it was my dad. I didn't find out till the next day.
Thrown 20 feet from the car with his back broken, Bill was flown to a hospital in Fort Wayne, Indiana, in critical condition.
I was unconscious after the accident, but I lost an entire week. I don't remember anything for a week.
Doctors used the standard surgical approach to repair Bill's broken back. Vertebrae were fused and rods were inserted on both sides of his spine. His back would mend, but the damage to his spinal cord was irreversible.
When I went in and saw him there in the bed, I knew it was pretty bad, and I don't know, it's just hard to see him like that because I'd always seen him, strong person, never down, never hurt. So it was pretty tough.
With Bill still unconscious, his mother and children were the first to learn the terrible news about his fate.
Well, I just couldn't believe it had happened to us, but we had to face it. There's no other way out, the doctors just said that he was going to be in a wheelchair the rest of his life, and so we just had to cope with it. It was very hard.
Bill would drift in and out of consciousness for a week before finally regaining his senses to the point where doctors could break the devastating news.
When I first started out, you're paralyzed for life.
Bill had to face the fact that there was nothing medical science could do for him. It was a reality that hit hard.
You have to depend on somebody for everything. You can't even dress yourself anymore. You can't even go to the bathroom by yourself anymore. It's just, to try to find the words to explain that to someone that's never experienced that, I don't think I can.
I remember when we first brought him home and he was in the wheelchair, I didn't know how to act. It was different. It was hard. When he first got home, he was really depressed, and he just wasn't the same old dad.
Well, I felt like less of a man, and I lost that. I guess I was worried about different things, and instead of I focused on things differently than I did prior to my accident.
In the months following his accident, Bill would come to realize just how much he had lost and would begin the painful struggle of moving on.
Like myself, I went through the denial. Then you kind of go through when I first got out, kind of like the pity, why me? And then you get angry at everything, and which I did. And that was kind of the phases I went through. And then I moved on from there. Said, okay, I took a long look at myself, and you got to go on with life.
He had no way of knowing it at the time, but while he was putting together the pieces of his shattered life, on the opposite side of the country, a doctor had a dream that could have a profound impact on Bill Dotson and anyone with a spinal cord injury.
See if you can get those knees back hold up.
We've always envisioned that we were going to attempt to restore walking in the spinal cord injured that's wheelchair dependent.
Dr. Richard Herman has dedicated his career to attempting to solve one of medical science's greatest mysteries. What can be done to a damaged spinal cord that would allow a paralyzed person to walk again? Dr. Herman began to look to modern technology for the key to unlock the mystery of spinal cord injury. He discovered an intriguing possibility in the development of implantable electrodes used to treat a variety of neurological disorders. This new technology was showing promising results in treating everything from tremors to severe back pain. But it was the obscure research projects using these stimulators to help animals with damaged spinal cords regain the ability to walk that particularly intrigued Dr. Herman. Could these small electrical devices hold the promise of solving one of medicine's greatest mysteries and help make people like Bill Dotson whole again? For the next several years, Dr. Herman explored the potential of this new technology, while Bill Dotson did the best he could to get on with his life. He stayed in his home state of Indiana for 6 years after his accident, but then found himself at a crossroads. By the spring of 1998, he felt it was time to make a fresh start. As Bill thought about where he might want to begin his new life, it was almost as though his late father was looking down on him and guiding his decision.
When I was a child, I spent a summer with my father in New Mexico. I loved the Southwest. And through my accident, I have steel rods in my back. And Indiana, you get some very severe winters. And I had a lot of problem when the weather got severe with my lower extremities becoming rigid and being able to get around. And you can imagine what it's like to try to maneuver around in snow in a wheelchair.
Of all the places in the country Bill could have chosen to relocate, destiny led him to Phoenix, Arizona, the same city where Dr. Richard Herman would soon be seeking volunteers for a new FDA clinical study. The coincidence of it all was nearly miraculous. For the first time in almost a decade, fate was smiling on Bill Dotson, and medical science was moving closer to unlocking the secret to helping the paralyzed walk again.
Oh yeah, that's something I want to regain. I'll never forget that. It's the biggest thing in my life. I want it back more than anything.
Bill Dotson has refused to give up the lifestyle he loves, despite the fact he's in a wheelchair. But the memories of his life before the accident that left him paralyzed continue to haunt him.
I dream about walking quite often. Matter of fact, a couple of nights ago I had a dream. I don't know why I dream this way, but lots of times my father's in my dreams with me, but he passed away at 91. I guess maybe I relate back to times before my accident.
In October of 1999, Dr. Richard Herman and his colleagues officially launched a clinical study to see if the paralyzed could be helped to walk again. There was finally hope that Bill Dotson's dreams might become a reality.
They will get up from the wheelchair, walk to the bathroom. They'll walk to the kitchen. They'll go to a table. They will go and do their shopping. They will get in and out of a car, which they can from a wheelchair, but this will be from a walking mode. They will walk in and walk out.
Restoring movement to the paralyzed has always been a medical mystery. To attempt this remarkable achievement, the first phase of the study would involve rigorous training using a rehabilitation technique called partial weight-bearing therapy.
This is a training program taking advantage of the ability of the spinal cord to process information from the leg and to organize a locomotion rhythm that is learned. And we believe that in the spinal cord has the ability, the capacity to change and to learn new movements all over again.
Dr. Herman would tackle the challenge of achieving effortless walking by first getting as much improvement as possible using traditional rehabilitation therapy. He would then move to the next phase of the study, the neuroprosthesis, electrical stimulators implanted in the spinal canal. Bill's injury is located at the T8 level of his spine, in an area called the thoracic region. Although the nerves below the level of the injury remain undamaged, very few signals from his brain are able to reach those nerves due to the severity of the injury. Dr. Herman's theory is that the circuitry of the spinal cord, when charged with electrical current, will reawaken dormant nerves and promote rhythmic movement. The result? A paralyzed person like Bill should be able to walk again.
Everyone thought this was a way out idea. I mean, they really looked at this as really almost peculiar.
Dr. Herman's way out idea sounded like a dream come true to Bill Dotson.
Oh, I would love to be able to stand and cook the stove again instead of trying to peer up over a cooker. And getting out of bed and walking to the bathroom instead of having to climb into a chair, go to the bathroom, jump off of a chair. That gets very frustrating. Just every day. Anything that has to do with everyday living.
For the first time since his accident, Bill Dotson had something tangible to hang his hopes on.
I'm a firm believer that there's going to be a cure for spinal cord injury. And I've seen so many people in wheelchairs that have gotten, they've gotten themselves in that position and they don't take care of themselves. And what good is a cure going to do if your body was not ready for it and won't accept it?
Bill has trained hard for nearly 9 years, from 1993 until today, to prepare himself for this moment. But his hopes were shattered when he discovered he didn't meet the criteria to be included in the study. Though he was extremely fit, his injury was too old, too severe, and had left his legs extremely weak.
I sat probably for a month and a half, waiting, not knowing, wanting to be, oh my goodness, this is opportunity of a lifetime, and not knowing for a fact I was going to be in it.
Of the thousands of people with spinal cord injuries in the United States, only 3 would be chosen for this study. Bill's chances of being one of those 3 were astronomical. Even so, he submitted his application and was ready to face risky experimental surgery because of the hope he had been given by